right, very excited. We've got some data mines coming in from Victor, BYCTOR, who posted them. And it looks like we've got a screenshot here of a player model for Scarlet Witch and also for Falcon. Now, it's not clear to me that these are going to be playable characters, NPCs. I suspect they're going to be NPCs. But I do want to talk about a couple rumors that have been floating out there right now because right now the game is in soft launch in Canada on Android devices. And yes, you can play the game now if you want to. There's a link in the description to a video about how to play the game. It's actually really easy to do. You can start now, or you can wait until the tentative global launch date, which includes iOS devices, which is going to be September 30th. We'll see. I'm hearing, one of the rumors I'm hearing is that that's a placeholder date and it might be earlier than that. That being said, a couple of the rumors that have been floating out there is one that September 30th is a placeholder date and the game is going to be going live sooner than that. Secondly, is that there's going to be 2 new characters. Right now in the game, there are 8 playable characters. I've tried out 4 of them. I've tried out Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and Scarlet Johansson. I want to say Scarlet Witch, but it's Black Widow. And then there's 4 other ones. And off the top of my head, what is it? Storm, Star-Lord, Captain Marvel, and somebody else. I can't remember. But anyways, there's a total of 8 characters. And they're saying that maybe we're going to get 2 more, plus we're going to get some additional game modes. And we're going to talk about game modes because right now the way the game's set up is that, you know, pretty much the campaign mode, the tutorial, if you will, is 1 through 100. And then it starts to pivot towards PvP content. Well, not necessarily all PvP content, but it's all kind of a large number of the rewards are slated towards weekly rewards, and the weekly rewards are you're competing against everybody else on the server, and a lot of that has to do with your power levels. And so the in-game rewards that you get definitely is a pay-to-win mechanic. So yeah, maybe this is going to be a playable character. Maybe this is going to be a playable character. They kind of look like NPCs, and I know they, you know, this is definitely the future of the MCU is definitely heading towards Scarlet Witch and Falcon. But I think a lot of people, myself included, you know, I'd like to have a playable Thor. That's what I like. A lot of other people would like to see Wolverine or Hulk, probably for these characters. Just my thoughts. And we'll see. We'll have to see. We have some time before a global launch, but I'm definitely expecting more stuff to be coming out before global launch now, because right now we're in a soft launch, and you know, they're testing things out. They're getting some bugs fixes. I've got a lot of ideas and things that they should fix to the game. A lot of people are not really thrilled with the in-game economy. I wanted to read this post here on Reddit, and then I have some of my own thoughts about it as well. Free-to-play hopeful for in-game. Hey, I just wanted to see if others feel the same as me. I'm currently enjoying the hell of the game. Recently, I realized that once I'm level 100 and done with the campaign, all there really is to do is to PvP. I'm not a huge PvP person, but I'll play for some rewards. I'm just hopeful that they hear us PvE players and give us some in-game stuff to do. Not just the operations, which is limited anyways, but maybe something like a light zone similar to the dark zone, but no PvP. Just something allows us to feel like we're doing something with our character and makes it worth the grind. The raid is to a certain degree like that. Raids, right? A lot of good rewards there. I was also wondering if they would ever change or have 2 separate areas of dark zone. In the Division 2, they have 3 dark zone areas exactly like Marvel, PvP and PvE content. But what they do for one of the dark zones is they rotate. They make one somewhat more hardcore where your stats are your stats, but the others have stats capped and make the players all somewhat similar in power so that those can't farm for 1,000 hours a week and go in and get some Dark Zone loot. I just hope the devs add more content for grinders and PvP players like myself who don't mind putting in the work. Now, what he's saying is true. So a large chunk comes down to these weekly rankings and these weekly rewards. And all of them... A large number of them are tied to PvP content, or at least the size of your power level. Now, I want to point out that some of them are not. Like Special Ops is not. And the way that this works right here is that when you go in with 4 players, you're all put at level 100, and then your best score for the day. Now, you only get rewards for going in once a day, but you can go in multiple times to try to get a better score. And then your better score is calculated right here. And then that goes towards the weekly ranking, right? And you can go in multiple times to try to get your best score for the day. Great. That right there is actually very free-to-play friendly. It's against the PvE. It's a good place to go. Now, then we've got Battle Challenge, which is like a tower mode, which requires a lot of you're playing against the environment. It's skill-based, and also you're knowing how your character works and having a build for each mode. And I believe that this Battle Challenge is well, at some point, you're just going to need to have a character big enough to go in there and do the content, right? But I think a lot of it is skill-based and understanding that each little boss, it's like a tower that escalates in difficulty. It's about just knowing how well your character is and being, having a high degree of skill, you're going to do well. A Mega War. A Mega War does have a pretty steep learning curve. I know the first 10 times I went into it, it seemed like it was, oh my God, it was just a complete chaos. But there is a strategy and there is a plan to it. And certain characters excel more than others, for sure. But usually whoever has the highest stats win, and it is player versus player. So this is not necessarily a free-to-play friendly move. Dimensional duel is 1 versus 1. Some characters have a significant advantage, and there is a skill cap to it, like learning how to beat certain characters, like Black Widow. Can definitely snipe characters, but there's ways of avoiding that sniping blast, and it requires a certain level of skill. But it also is largely just having a lot of power, and it's PvP content. And then Dark Zone is kind of what this last post was talking about. But basically, this is a zone that you can go into 1 hour per day, and then you can go in yourself 1 hour per day. But there are also 2 hours per day, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening, where you get double drops. And that's when most people go into the Dark Zone. And then Dark Zone PvP is enabled. And the main idea behind the Dark Zone is to go in there and run in with your alliance and take on the prime bosses and the mini bosses, get the cards and so on, get as many points as possible. But it largely has to do with power. Now, where am I going with all of this? These stats right here were from a free-to-play player. That's right. There's a free-to-play player named Verondius. He's super grindy. He's very good at the game. And he's also, he'll even admit it, he did get lucky with some of his, like he said, with some of his drops. Like he says he has some great badges that he got in the first week because he was one of the first people that got to 100. So he was able to get into the Dark Zone early. But he's doing this free-to-play. This is amazing. Now, I'm also free-to-play. And I'm not as grindy as Verondius, but I'm placing in the 200s on all of these categories. So there definitely is a ton of room to this, and I fully expect to catch up to the heavy spenders. And that is if you're new to my channel, or if this is your first time watching anything I do, because I've been on YouTube forever and covered a lot of different games, is my whole philosophy here is what they call min-max. And what I mean by min-max is I'm trying to get the most out of the game from either playing the game efficiently and or spending money efficiently. I will spend. So far, I've not spent on the game, but I am definitely one of those people that is trying to get the most for the least amount. Try to get the most amount of rewards for either the least amount of time or the least amount of money in spending the game. I'm not one that I don't really want to just brute force it. I'm more of a grinder, but I will spend. So right now I'm trying to develop strategies that are light spender friendly or even free to play friendly. And then eventually I'll move into the Kraken whale territory. I always do. But right now, a lot of one of the questions I'm getting is like, what's the best place to spend cores? And for me, what I'm finding is the best place to, so far, the one thing that I've identified, which seems to be the best for me so far, is spending refreshes on these raids. These raids are super important. The skill tree is super important. And I've, like if you have some friends in your alliance that can help you get through the more difficult tiers, I was able to go through it. And you get to go through it once, but you can spend 100 cores. I think these are called cores or diamonds or crystal, whatever the premium currency is. But for me, I saw a high value in refreshing it 3 times yesterday. That's the kind of stuff that I want to, fully flush out as we move forward and make a lot of videos. So 2 reasons to subscribe here is if you want to get the most out of min-max strategy, and also for my daily fashionista advice. I specialize in customizing the best, highly aesthetically appeasing skin. I'm the best! My Iron Man is impeccable. Look at the way that all right, guys. See you in the next video. Bye for now.